Happy hump day. It's always very hard for me to start these streams. I never know where to start. So I always spend about 15 seconds wondering, how do I start this? What do I say? Anyway, happy Wednesday night. Or Thursday, if you're on my side of the globe. How's everyone getting through their week? I really wanted to do there's a I rate your husbando thing that I was supposed to do for my next stream, but I got distracted. I still haven't put together the graphics for that yet, so if we wait for that, it's likely I'll never stream again. So at some point, it will happen. Will it happen today? No. How's the volume? You guys got anything planned for this weekend? I could talk to you about my favorite husbandos, but, you know, without graphics, it's, people like seeing stuff. You know, that's why PowerPoints are so, popular, I guess. So, yeah. What was that? Actually, it's a funny story. I am notoriously difficult to buy presents for. Because if I need something, I'll just buy it. Oh, and a really quick reminder, there is at least one mod who is in the chat right now, and he does have full liberty to time you out, delete your messages, whatever he feels that he needs to do to ensure the safety of the stream and keep the comments to a maximum level of degeneracy that you've probably come to expect from my streams in the most recent ones anyway, so please keep that in mind. I know the stream chat said 18 plus. I assure you, there will be no crazy stuff today. Or maybe there will be, who knows, but I do like to keep that message up there just in case. And also, if you're not 18 and you're listening to my audios, I'm a little worried for you. So, anyways, so let's go back to the Christmas present thing. So right about this time of the year, all of our friend groups, we get together and we plan out like a secret Santa. Well, we call it the white elephant, or I guess there's multiple names to call it, but one year I bought. Wow, thank you so much, Jack. Thank you. Safe travels. Thank you so much. Safe travels. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, thank you. So What was I saying? Oh yeah, so 1 year for our white elephant, or Secret Santa thing. Well, it's not Secret Santa actually. Uh, I bought a can of WD-40 and a 3 pack of duct tape, and I was almost not invited for the next Christmas gathering. And it's hilarious because the person who, or the couple that ended up with the WD-40 and the 3 rolls of duct tape was this gay couple. And ironically, I don't know if this has anything to do with it. It probably doesn't. They stopped coming to the party. So, yeah, don't do that. Don't do what I did, okay? Don't do WD-40 and 3 rolls of duct tape. Although, actually, the older I get, I find that the more useful it is. I'd kill for WD-40 right now. And duct tape. I mean, in what situation do you never not need duct tape, right? It's a very versatile item. But I guess in the spirit of Christmas, you probably don't want to give that as a gift? I actually, unironically, love contact lens cleaners. They're so expensive. It's like 2 bottles is like $15. If you wanted to give me contact lens cleaner, yes, absolutely, I'll take it. But, well, yeah, no, brake cleaner is a little harder to do. A lot of my friends use the public transportation here. There's really no point in having your own car in Taipei. You actually end up paying more for parking than anything else, really. So, yeah. Oh, what was I saying? Okay, so, we get together every year around this time and we talk about, like, getting gifts for everyone and whatnot. So we make sure that there's no, like, overlaps, like, one person doesn't get 2 copies of, Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull. Which, in my opinion, is kind of the equivalent of getting coal in your stocking. God, what a terrible movie. And so we were talking, and my friends were like, "You are so difficult to shop for. We can't buy shit for you because by the time, Christmas comes around and we have the gift for you and you open it, you already bought it 3 weeks ago. And you never tell us about it because why would you tell people that you bought a new pair of headphones?" I don't know. And I had to tell them, okay, so everything that I buy kind of pertains to work in some way. Like, if I get a new iPad, it's because I need it for work. If I get a new pair of headsets, it's for work. If I get a new pair of if I get a new mic, it's for work, So, I don't buy a lot of things that I consider to be somewhat frivolous because I personally don't see the use in that. I'm not much of a collector. I just think and when you have 3 cats, it's very difficult to have that kind of thing, to collect stuff. Because, yeah, I have a whole bookshelf full of books, and at least once a week I come into my office and I see all the books are strewn on the floor because one of my cats has pulled it off the bookshelf. For no reason. They just like the sound it makes, I guess. And, well, the thing with Gunpla is I buy it with the intention of doing it on stream. And since stream does generate revenue in some way, be it through ads or super chats or something like that, that's why I buy Gunpla. But, so I was thinking about the kind of gift that I would want, and I think people in Discord have already heard the story, so I do apologize. But I was like, okay, here's something that you can get me that I will never get, because I think it's kind of frivolous. And so I told him, I want figures. Because I did used to collect those when I was younger, but then I kept moving from place to place, and then it became kind of you know, when you're a digital nomad like I am, you learn to live out of like 2 suitcases, and you know, those two suitcases basically contain your entire life, right? Your space is at a premium. Like, I think right now, me living in Taiwan, this is probably the longest I've spent in a single place so far. We'll see if I stay here. But so, you know, you're living in 2 suitcases, and you don't really get the luxury of things like figures. So you know, I told them, well, why don't you get me figures? So they asked me, what kind of figures do you want? And then I think about that question, because I'm like, no one in my friend group knows that I'm a closet otaku, or the more derogatory term, weeaboo. So, like, they were thinking, oh, okay, she wants like Funko Pops. And they're like, okay, so you want Funko Pops, or because those kind of figures are very popular here in Taiwan. Like, we have like vending machines everywhere. Like, gacha machines are everywhere here, because, you know, Taiwan is basically discount Japan. I'm so sorry to say that, but that has been my experience living here for 5 years. Taiwan is basically Temu, like Japan. Temu, Shine, Japan, I guess. Yeah, pretty sizable Japanese population, Japanese expats, a lot of Japanese restaurants that are fairly authentic. Everyone loves sushi here. Anime is super big here. Anime figures everywhere. Like, and by figures I mean like on like posters and buses and buildings and in like subway cars, and anyway, so you know, like those kind of figures, like Funko Pops and stuff, they're very popular. And oh, just as a side note, when Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba was super popular, you could not get away from that show at one point in Taipei. Like, it was everywhere. Everywhere I turned, it was a picture of Shinobu Kocho. Like, everywhere you look, it's something Demon Slayer related, which I you know, honestly kind of cool. But anyway, so I'm procrastinating because I don't want to tell you guys how much of a I don't want to like relive that terrible experience that I had to go through a few weeks ago, or like last week, when I had to tell them, okay, well, I don't want Funko Pops. I want like actual figures. Like, these are expensive. The good figures cost like hundreds of dollars, and I figured if my friends wanted to, they could all just chip in, throw in a couple of bills, and then they could just get me one big one. And this is so hard to say. And so I had to tell them, like, and my friends are not, they're normies. They're normies. They're not like, they're not into anime. The only, like, I guess, exposure they have to anime is when they see it, like, on an advertisement somewhere. You know, they'll walk past the gacha machines, because Taiwan is littered with them. Or they'll walk past a crane machine with, like, a bunch of plushies. By the way, those crane machines here in Taiwan are, like, absolute just... I think they're used for, like, money laundering. Don't ever put your money in them. You'll never get anything. Anyways, so they're like, okay, so which anime? And I just kind of look at them and I'm like, um, I'm like, Attack on Titans. They're like, what the fuck is that? It was like, oh, it's a show, you know, you could look it up on Google. Please don't ask me to elaborate more on it. And they were like, okay, this is a show with a lot of people, you know, so what figures do you want to from that show? And then I had to tell them, I'm honestly, oh my god, I'm mortified reliving that experience because they're looking at me, and you know, we're all at someone's house, we're having, you know, we're relaxing, we're vibing, we're having alcohol. I don't drink, so I was drinking like lemonade or something, I don't know. And you know, they're on their phones and they're like, oh, okay, I've seen, like, you know, pictures of this show. I think I know it tangentially. and you know, they're going through the pictures, and then they're like, oh, okay, so you want figures of this. And then one of them holds up his phone, and it's a picture of like one of the Titans. And I was like, no, please, no, don't give me figures of that. Those are so terrifying. And then I was like, I want figures of, like, you know, like one of the guys. So they start looking through, like, all the Survey Corps members. and there's a lot of guys in Attack on Titans. And oh, it was like a normal Titan. It was the terrible with the huge head and the, you know, yeah, just terrible nightmare fuel stuff, right? And so they start going through the pictures, and like, just the look of, they're trying to be polite, and I respect that. And you know, I'm sitting there and I'm sweating and I'm like wishing that I hadn't opened my mouth and said, yeah, I want figures of my current husbando obsession. And then one of them holds up a picture of of you know, God, of Aaron. And he's like, oh, this one. And I was like, no, not that one. So now everyone takes a turn at picking like the most random characters who all look older. Okay, so I had like someone asked me, oh, do you want this one? And it was like a picture of like Irwin, and then like Dot Pixies came up at one point. I was like, I'm dead. I am dead. And yeah, and then none of them actually pulled up a picture of Levi. And after, like, they were like, we don't know what character you're talking about, you need to like tell us so we don't buy the wrong one. And I have to tell them, straight-faced, it's a character named Levi Ackerman. And so they all Google him, and they all kind of look at me and they start cackling. They are hysterical, and they're like, wow, we didn't know you were into like little boys, and I had to explain to them that actually Levi's the one that is closest to age of all of us. And he just looks young. And he's actually, like, by the end of the show, he's actually like 38. And just the sheer look of disappointment and censure was. I'm still hearing about it now, honestly. I really am. I'm still getting messages, and people are still trolling me in our line group chat. And I really wish I hadn't said anything. I wish I had just asked for some new kitchen knives. So. That is something that I will carry with me for a very long time. And it's so unfair because, yeah, they're like, he looks like he's 14 years old. Are you okay? Do we need to be worried about you? And I'm like, do you want to get WD-40 and 3 rolls of duct tape again? Because this is how you get that. And, yeah, so that was embarrassing. It's like growing up in the 90s and everyone's crazy into like football. You know, you live in one of those towns where everyone's crazy about the local team, I guess. And then you go to like a Super Bowl party, okay? Oh, well, thank you very much, Queen Sectonia. Thank you. Thank you so much. Anyway, so yeah, it's like going to a Super Bowl party in the 90s, and bringing like a stack of D&D books with you. And the look that you get from everyone when you put those books on the table, and they look at you with varying degrees of confusion, derision, pity. You know, those were the expressions that I got that night, and I will most likely never live it down. And I'm still getting trolled about it a week later, and I will likely still get trolled a week later. Or, you know, a month, maybe a year, maybe next year, maybe the year after that. I think they will never forget that I said I wanted figures of this guy right here. No one else. Please do not buy me any other merchandise because I don't care about anything else. And, yeah. One of them, my friends are all normies. They're all normies. They're all expat teachers and whatnot. And, you know, one of them's like a expat patent lawyer. I don't know what he's doing here in Taiwan. Actually, I do know he married a Taiwanese lady. But yeah. So, one of them sent me a screenshot of a Dakimakura of Levi. And he's like, do you want this? And I'm like, I don't know how to answer that without retaining some form of dignity. It was a hot one too. I am so embarrassed right now. You have no idea. But, yeah. Yeah, and I'm like, no, I am of the age where it would actually be a crushing social blow to my reputation if people knew that I had a Dakimakura. I mean, people my age are going and getting married and having kids, for fuck's sake. Thank you so much, Oben. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. But, unfortunately, I think it's a pretty popular, design, because I after I got the message, I was like, I wonder, I wonder what other Dakimakuras there are of Levi, so I looked it up on Google. And it's a fairly common design. I think if you like Google it, it's probably like one of the like first 3 options that pop up in Google Images. I ordered one, of course, because that's, you know, that's something that you don't share with other people, except for people that you don't know online. Ah. So, yeah, it should be here in like 3 weeks. Anyways. So that was fun. That was horrible, actually. I'm hoping that I leave Taiwan by next year so I don't have to go through that awkward conversation again. But yeah, so although recently I've been kind of oh god, I'm never gonna live this down. But I started rewatching One Piece, like starting over from episode 1 basically. I read the whole series when I had COVID. I read like up to after the Wano arc, I think. Because, yeah, I got COVID last year. And I read up to the point where, yeah. They're like on the giant walking elephant. That, you know, thing. I forget what arc that is. It's right before the Egghead arc, I think. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. Because we're all weeaboos here. What made you want to do it again? I had COVID for a week and I had nothing else to do but lie there, shivering, sweating, unable to sleep. And, guys, I think this is my honest opinion. I guess this is gonna actually turn into a, I guess this is kind of gonna turn into kind of like a impromptu husbando, because now I'm gonna talk about one of my favorite husbandos on One Piece. Can you guess who it is? Knowing, you know, who do you think is my favorite husbando? And whoever gets it right, I will give you a reward. I will give you a gohobi. Anyway, so yeah, so I started watching One Piece over, and it's cute. I'm watching the English dub this time. It's okay. Oh my goodness. Zoro, Sanji, Law. Where is Law coming from? Mihawk is actually a really good guess, but it's... So... I don't think anyone got it. No. Actually... Well, I think at this point you're not like you're not even thinking about like the qualities that I find to be very attractive in the opposite gender. But crocodile would be a crazy guess. It is not crocodile, by the way. Although he does have an interesting character arc. You know, he's a villain, but then now he's not, and now he's an anti-hero. Yeah. And don't flamingo. Oh my god, the Dross, the what is it? The Dross Ressa? That arc, the one with where they turn people into toys. That one was a very depressing arc for me. No, but it was actually Sam Void. I'm sorry, you already guessed once, so I can't let you. I'm not gonna give you a reward for guessing again. But it is Shanks, actually. I think that Shanks is a very he's kind of slept on as like a husbando. Yeah, now you're just naming people randomly. Okay, so I feel less bad about not rewarding anyone. But I think Shanks is actually a very legitimate candidate to be a good husbando, you know? He's very reliable, and obviously he's very strong. He's one of the Yonko, and he's got red hair, and, you know, he's got the scars, and he's missing an arm, you know? I've come to the realization that for some reason, I'm really into damaged characters. It elicits my motherly instincts, I think. So, like, if I look at all of my favorite characters, it's always a character that has a severe flaw. Would it be mentally or physically? So that explains why my top 3 favorite husbandos are Levi, Bakugo, who is very mentally kind of handicapped, and Shanks recently has gotten into the top 3. But yeah. I wanted to go somewhere with this conversation, but I think I lost my train of thought. Well, no, so the implication of I can fix him, I see that used a lot with, like, abusive characters. Like, I see that I can fix him a lot with Sukuna from JJK. I want nothing to do with Sukuna. I find Sukuna to be kind of repulsive, actually. That's interesting. Edward Elric. I think, honestly, I never see Edward Elric as, like, an older figure. I'm not into boys. Let it be known! I'm not into children! Oh god. That's a quote that's gonna be taken wildly out of context. A one-eyed cowboy is totally my jam. But, yeah, and speaking of JJK, so, I'm gonna admit this right now, and I know I've said this in stream before. I'm such a big fan of Nanami. And this was before the hair pulling incident, okay? This was before everyone just kind of jumped on the Nanami train. I was a fan of Nanami before that, okay? I was OG, okay? I swear to God, I was OG. Hand over my heart, fingers crossed. Or is that how you do it? Fingers crossed? Yeah. Yeah, I was a day one fan. As soon as he showed up, I was like, I like that attitude. I like that coolness that you exhibit. I'm vibing with that. And then like a lot of people started like suddenly like I started seeing like an uptick of Nanami stuff after the hair pulling stuff, and I didn't understand at first why suddenly everyone liked Nanami because I didn't watch the anime. I only read the manga, and I don't remember that scene in the manga at all. And I watched up to the point where he met, a somewhat, things didn't go well for him. And I stopped reading at that point. I was like, what is there to live for anymore? You have taken everything from me. But, yeah. I've run out of things to talk about. And you know what? The pulling the hair, yeah, so it's very much a BDSM thing, Oh, okay, so this is where the plus 18 comes into play. But, it's kind of like a perversion, honestly, of that, of, like, the rules and the expectations that are set in that world. It's a way of asserting... Oh my god. It's a way of asserting dominance. No. Not the beach in Malaysia. I've actually never been to Malaysia. That's actually one of the few countries I've not been to in Asia. I've been to Laos, Cambodia, Thailand, Vietnam, China, Japan, Korea. But I've never actually made it to like Malaysia or Singapore. I've been to the Philippines. No, you are not going to get another 15-minute rant of how bad 50 Shades of Grey is, because it will not be a 15-minute rant. It will take up the entire stream, and I don't want to waste my time and energy on such a shitty product, okay? And it pisses me off so much when I think about people who look at that book and they think it's an I'm getting started. How dare you? How dare you get me started on this terrible... No. Anyways, yeah, so Nanami. Yeah, no, definitely. I recently got introduced to, the show called Windbreaker by my Discord. Also, okay, so this is something that I really need to say, and it is regarding my Discord. I have noticed that, there's a lot of people that join. They click the join button for my Discord. When you join, though, to limit the... because it used to be that you could just join and you'd be granted all access to the server. But, it got crazy. So we had to implement a bunch of, safeguards to keep out the trolls. Because, strangely enough, my content seems to attract a fair amount of, what's the word I'm looking for? Gooners? I hate that word, by the way. Not the best people. And, so when you first join the Discord, you need to have an intro. There has been a lot of people who don't know what an intro means. And an intro is not just your name. I'm gonna just put that out there. For some people, maybe it is. But an intro is short for introduction. And what does introduction mean? It means you fucking tell us about yourself. You saying your name is not you telling us about yourself. We don't know shit from your name unless it's like insert random NSFW content here. I don't know. You know, I'm not going to say it on stream, but I don't know if you say, "Hey, I'm DDK7946. I hope to have fun in this server." That's not an intro, honey. You got to try better than that. You know, this is an intro though. Hello, my name is Milky T. I found this Discord through Milky's YouTube channel. I've been listening to her content for a few years. My interests are drinking coffee and drawing. And my favorite drink is iced tea. I don't know. Right? That, in my opinion, is an intro. It might even be a good intro, you know, because it gives us some way to connect to you as a person, because we already know some things about you. So please, when you join our Discord, please be aware of that. And it's not that we're purposefully being mean. I realize that there has been, I have received some messages from people who think that the Discord, my Discord, is a little strict. I have gotten some messages about my mods, and they're like, you realize that your mods are alienating you from your listeners. And I disagree. The mods and I have worked so hard to keep our Discord a safe place. So I refuse to let it get filled with a bunch of fucking degenerates with their brain rot speak, okay? If you say skibbity toilet in any conversation, in any context, I will fucking time you out, brother. I will time you out. And if you do it a second time, well, maybe I'll ban you. I don't know. But just be considerate, be kind, be chill. And here's another thing that I really want to recommend that you do. When you first meet people, usually the right thing to do, or the more socially acceptable thing to do, is you kind of sit around, you know, you see what the vibe is. You don't just jump into the conversation, you know. Oh god, my roommate brought her kid back. Crap. Okay. Just ignore the screaming baby in the background. It's fine. But I vibe more with people that don't talk too much. And I know that's kind of crazy thing to say in a Discord server that kind of, you know, is used for conversation, but there is nothing that I hate more than, you know, we're talking about something. We're talking about mayonnaise. I don't know. And then some random person who just joined that day starts telling us about how he had mayonnaise on a sandwich the other day. I actually really hate that. Like, I don't know you. Why are you acting friendly to me? Please. Just chill out. Give me some time to get to know you. Okay? Like, you know, if you're... Okay, so this is an 18 plus chat, so, you know, it's like the same as this stream's gonna get demonetized just from me saying this. Listen, guys, if you are with a lady or a man, you know, I don't know your preference. you gotta ease into it, okay? You gotta use a little lube. Now, what form of lube that is entirely up to you, but also please make sure that it is water-based, you know. Yeah, baby oil, no, don't do that. That will give you infections. Do not use baby oil. There is specially designed lubricants to be used on the human body. Do not use baby oil. Okay, that's not a lube. I really wish Diddy had known about that. Anyways, or I don't know, maybe he was into nuru massage. I don't know. I guess we never know what the context of the baby oil is in his during his parties. But yeah, so that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Okay? You don't want to just force your way in. Okay? That's very bad. Okay? You want to make sure there's some moisture. Oh my god. So that's my recommendation to anyone who joins the Discord new. We're very, very, we're a very nice bunch. You know, alternate chat is where we have a lot of like weird convos. I'm very sorry about that. Yeah. And, and you know, when we're, and you know, there's always going to be people in VC. It's just that kind of channel, you know, or it's just that kind of vibe. When you're in VC and you're new and you don't really know anyone, maybe don't say anything, okay? Maybe just sit there and just listen to other people. We won't think you're creepy. We won't think you're being a stalker for just sitting there and listening to people. I would respect you, actually, if you did that, because I think that that is you making the effort to get the vibe of what is happening. You know? So, if you never say anything, that's fine. I prefer quiet over the loud any day of the week. But yeah, we do have some members that have been with the server for quite a while, but they don't really say anything in VC. They'll type it out in the chat, and that's fine. That's fine. I don't mind that. But yeah. Yeah. And I will let you know that one of my mods, he's actually my oldest mod. He's been there from the very beginning. So I don't know if you guys know, about 1.5 years ago, there was a schism. There was a Discord that I was a part of that was made, it was an unofficial Milky Tea server. And I was a part of it, and he was a mod in that too. And shit kind of went sideways, and then, you know, we had to make our own Discord that was the official Milky Tea server. And he came with us, and he is helping mod that. I have heard that there are some people that think he might be a bit abrasive. I assure you. Yes, I can see where you're coming from. But I'd like to think of it as he's just a teddy bear. Okay, no, that's a bad analogy. That's a bad comparison. He is our protector, okay? And he is our first line of defense. And I am absolutely okay with what he does. Please do not push matters with him, though, because it makes things complicated. He is very blunt. He will tell you exactly what he thinks about you to your face. Some people take that hard. Don't. Everything that he does is to ensure the safety of the server. And then we have two other mods. One's a big softie. He gets upset when there's conflict on the server. And the other one is he's more of our, he's the newest one. He's more of the, it's weird, we've got tropes with the mod team. So we've got the young one, and then we've got the burly one, and then we have the technical analytical one, kind of, in a way. I don't know quite yet. But he's like a good, he's like the in-between of the softie. So, it's, yeah, so when you do join the Discord, please be respectful. Don't talk too much in your first few, like, days or even a week, that's fine. You don't have to impress us with your wit, okay? More likely than not, your wit will fall flat on its face because we can't understand context through text. So if you say something and you think it's a joke, chances are it will not land and we will just think you're an idiot. So... So, yeah, just calm down, okay? It's okay. It's okay. just get to know us first. You do try to be the voice in between, and I really appreciate that. I appreciate that quality of you. But, yeah, so, I don't think it's bad that you just lurk. I love lurkers. It makes me feel less bad when I'm the one lurking. I like to lurk in my Discord because there are, believe it or not, I am somewhat, don't do your intro here. Please do it on the Discord. Why would you do your intro here? But, what was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought because someone asked why the heck is the live stream 18+. Just because, man. Just because, okay? If you don't like it, you can go. Bye. One of the greatest insults that I can do to anyone in the Discord is basically post up a meme of Ice Cube saying, "Bye, Felicia." That's one of my favorite memes. Bye, Felicia. I don't have time to worry about shit anymore. I'm too old for that. But yeah. I love lurkers. Please don't feel bad about it. I love lurkers. I lurk all the time. Because, believe it or not, I'm somewhat of an introvert. I know, it's kind of crazy, an introvert doing what I do. But, like I illustrated at the beginning of the stream, I have a hard time starting up a conversation. So... But yeah. What was I talking about before this? I feel like we were talking about Nanami. Oh, yeah. Really quickly, if you are a Patreon member, first of all, thank you very much for your support. Your Patreon allows me to continue to do this on a full-time basis, which lets me provide more content for you. If you are not a Patreon member, you should definitely check it out. I don't post that often on YouTube anymore. I think there was like a 3-week gap between my most recent videos, although, or, between, like, the second most recent video. I think there was a 3-week gap. But, on my Patreon, I post, like, minimum twice a week of new content. And that's also where all of my, NSFW content goes as well. So if you know, if you're into if you're into some degeneracy, and if you're into the claps, it is there for your listening enjoyment. One thing though, I don't like to talk about my Patreon audio, and I think that kind of stems from my thank you so much, Endora. Thank you. I hope that we could talk after you finish work. But yeah. But, ooh, snowboarding. I miss snowboarding. I'm hoping I can get some, you know, airtime, I say in quotes. I'm thinking of going to Korea in December or January. It depends on how my timing goes and whether my work will allow for it. What was I gonna say? Oh, but, yeah. I miss snowboarding. Anyway, so, yeah, the content on my Patreon, does tend to skew more towards the, I kind of realized that the last, like, couple of my, 18 plus audios have been very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very, how do I say it? How do I say it and not come off like a total fucking degenerate? Although I feel like at this point, that's, you know, the cow's out of the barn and I'm merely closing the barn door after it. Aggressive? Is that what you guys would say it? Aggressive? I was gonna try to use the term dominant. So I would like to focus on making some more, softer content. Unless you guys are into the aggressive stuff. Yeah. I gotta be honest. I say the word degenerate, but I don't actually mean it. I think the way that I use that word just kind of stems from a lifetime of living in a country where the act of sex is very heavily censored. And it shouldn't be, you know? I was talking about this with my Discord, and, okay, this is where the plus 18 comes in, okay? But we were talking about how, like, basically America was created by a bunch of Puritans, right? Those fucking pilgrims. That's one thing they weren't doing. Actually, no, they had kids, obviously, so they were doing it. But I mean, like, even now, like, we're like, oh, we gotta protect the children, you know, protect the children, their eyes and ears must not be sullied. But, like, yo, guys, you're showing some truly depraved shit on national TV. Like, people getting hit by cars, people getting shot, like, people getting hurt. I find that kind of content to be way more harmful than people showing their affection for each other in somewhat unconventional ways. And I think that's what Europe does pretty well, actually, in regards to that aspect of, you know, human interactions. I think in Europe, I'm just gonna come out and say it, okay? Sex. Sexy sex, okay? Oh yeah, I'm getting demonetized. Is a lot more open in the EU. I don't know about the UK, but I know in the EU, like Germany, France, the Czech Republic. By the way, I'm old enough to remember that it was once called Czechoslovakia. You know, Eastern Europe, that whole area. I don't even know what the countries' names are anymore. They've changed so much in my lifetime. Um, but yeah, so like their attitude towards sexy sex is way more mature, I think. But in America, we kind of just we kind of sweep it under the rug, so to speak. And I don't agree with that. But unfortunately, we have been taken over by well, I don't want to go into politics, but you know, it could be better, but alas, it is not. So, yeah. Oh my god! I remember Yugoslavia. Is that not a country anymore? Shira, I'm pretty sure you are younger. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Yugoslavia stopped being a country before you were born. uh, but yeah, so I think so. When I do say that I'm a degenerate, it's because I'm still dealing with that American sensibility. You know, when you look at it though, from a very kind of like a more rounded kind of perspective, I don't think my content is that bad. There is one audio that is kind of bad, and it was taken down by Patreon. I didn't even know Patreon did that, to be honest, when that happened. I was like, wait, Patreon censors? Yes, they do, actually. But it's up on my Discord. So suck it. Literally. So it's on my it's on the Patreon hideout channel for the Discord. So if you're on Discord and you're wondering exactly what's so fucking degenerate that the Soviet, yes, it was. Oh, thank you so much, Chase. I'm really sorry your teeth is hurting, by the way. I don't know what it feels like to have a crown that falls off. Yeah, my teeth are pretty, I'm kind of lucky. My teeth are pretty okay. They're pretty healthy. I don't, like, I used to get cavities as a child, but I think my teeth are okay now. I don't know. I also haven't been to see the dentist in like 3 years, so I should maybe go. Oh my god, Yugoslavia ended in 1992. Holy shit. Yeah. Oh, did you guys hear? They're, I think they're petitioning to take fluoride out of drinking water. So, yeah. Good luck with your teeth, people in America. Actually, I think there's fluoride in toothpaste, so maybe it'll be okay. But if you don't use toothpaste on a daily basis, you might be fucked. But, yeah. No, I don't really think my content's degenerate, and I don't like it when... Like, I say it jokingly, but I don't like it when people say that people who listen to my content are necessarily degenerates. Because, you know, I think... I don't believe in, like, kink-shaming anyone, unless you're into, like, really, really illegal stuff, and then, in that case, I will absolutely shame you, and maybe call the cops on you, but yeah, I think my most recent content, I do say it's a little degenerate, but I personally, like, in my hearts of hearts, I don't think so. I don't think so. Who doesn't? I don't know, people who don't brush daily? I don't know, Trinky. Yeah, I think it's just, you know, some people have very, slightly less than conventional kinks, and you know, the kinks that I do on my Patreon audio isn't even like that crazy. A lot of other ASM artists or VAs do those same tropes, so I really don't think it's that weird. And there is something that is kind of inherently comfortable about allowing about consensual non-consent. Where's the guy who said why the fuck is this an 18+ stream? Where is he? Is he still here? Fuck you, this is why this is an 18+ stream, okay? Are you happy now? Um, but you know, there is something that's very, I think, almost liberating about consensual non-consent, which is really interesting because the whole idea of consensual non-consent or non-consent is, you know, you're being restrained. Uh, it's about finding freedom in a non-freedom environment. Yeah. Yeah, so I myself actually subscribe to a couple of male VAs who do you know, similar content to me. And last night I couldn't I had a really hard time falling asleep. I don't know why. I think I was just kind of tired. And let me look up my like like let me look it up really quickly. So I think the most recent audio of his that I, well, actually it's her. Supposedly it's a lady who does male voices. I don't know. I don't know. Me personally, I still think it's a dude, but apparently it's a lady. I don't know. But the most recent audio list that I listened to last night was a let me look it up. It had like interesting tags. It was, so according to their description, it was warning I can't. It's they're the only people that do like, they're the only ones that really just scratches that itch, you know? It's at this point it's basically just like, I need my fix, okay? Don't judge me. I'm actually having a really hard time. I really can't. My channel is actually gonna get shut down if I say these tags out loud, but it is along the same lines of my content on my Patreon. So, you know, take from that what you will. You need to try mommy ASMR. Okay, so just so you don't already know this, thank you so much, Oben. Thank you. So, why are people confused? Why are y'all like disappointed that I'm talking 18 plus content on a stream that says 18 plus? Okay, okay, don't judge me. Next person who makes a comment about how the conversation took a weird turn, I swear to God, I will time you out. Okay, okay. But Daddy ASMR does exist. It is a very popular niche. I'm personally not a fan of the niche. If if you know anything about me, you'd understand why that's not my thing. Not judging people who you know it is a thing for. But yeah, right? You know, I see, this is the natural progression of things. Okay, remember when I told you that you gotta ease into things? You kind of have to start off really slow and gentle, and then you start, you know, really going ham. But you gotta go ham after, like, you know, a significant amount of time has passed. Okay, you gotta let that shit rest. You gotta let it marinate just a little bit, okay? These food analogies, I don't know if it's working for you, but but ease in, but with like a decent glob of KY jelly, okay? I know people like to make fun of KY jelly because of its associations with like gay sex, but you know, actually KY jelly is probably preferable because it doesn't actually have a scent, and it's water based, so it's very easy to clean off as well. What was I talking about before that? Oh yeah, not relating to daddy stuff. But and also I don't do mommy stuff anymore. So I don't use the term dommy mommy anymore. I'm very sorry. Because Patreon has well, it's not that recent, but if you remember Patreon, you'll remember I talked about this. And I've removed all the dommy mommy tags off my audio. At least I hope I have. But for a lot of like content providers, using the term dommy mommy, it gets lumped into with incest. And yeah, that's a big no-no right now. So yeah, there have been people who have lost their whole channel due to that content. So please do not ask me to do mommy content. Okay? We good? Yeah. Yeah, we don't even, yeah, they don't like any incest or incest adjacent stuff. Yeah, so no stepbrother or stepsister stuff either. I don't do those. Because, yeah, Patreon is basically what allows me to pay my bills and be able to do this full time. If it was not for Patreon, I would have to go back to my previous job, which is fun too, but I think I prefer this a lot more. So basically the tag that I use now for Dommy Mommy is basically just dominant. I feel like that is close enough. But also I think gentle Dom is probably even closer, and I've never really considered using that tag before. So thank you, hat tip to its, well, so Patreon doesn't actually care. Who does actually care though is the service that handles payments. So that would be in this case PayPal or the credit card companies. And this is why you see a lot of issues stemming from like the Dojin sites, like DL site. Yeah, they don't take a lot of forms of payment like MasterCard or Visa, because those payment providers or companies don't like that kind of content. Because like the answer that they give out is you know, it lessens like fraud charges and chargebacks, and there's a lot more shenanigans that are involved with adult content that they say, but I'm pretty sure it just has to do with random like angry closeted Christian mothers who rage about their children being exposed to lewd content. I don't know. Also, if you're a Christian mother and you're on my stream, I'm sorry, but you have not been sending out your best, okay? I'm just gonna say that right now. Yeah. You are not exhibiting the values that Jesus would you know, exclaim upon or something. But yeah, so which actually brings me to another topic, DL site. So yesterday in the Patreon chat, because I didn't want to go into general chat because we had kind of like drama, stupid drama. It's children basically, but we got to talking about manga, and that's when I got recommended Windbreakers. And then we were talking about that, and then I think shit. I'm gonna talk about this to stream, okay. And yeah, I'm looking into getting a JCB card myself too, honestly. I have a Japanese address, I could probably get away with that. But and I have an Amazon JP account too. So, but anyways, so we're talking about that, and then I just casually mentioned, and then we started talking about like manga sites, the free ones or the pirate ones, I guess. Yeah, and like the apps themselves, like Kodansha, Viz, Shonen Jump, all the big ones, and then I don't know why I started talking. Thank you so much, Nugget. I'm so sorry. You're gonna have to watch the VOD. Or maybe just pop in one earbud and just keep working. That's what I do. But we were, for some reason, I brought up I gotta whisper it, okay? I brought up the comment about, oh wait, no, I didn't bring up the comment. I started talking about why, I mentioned that, I go to some sites for my, NTR content, okay? Alright, okay, I'm gonna stop whispering now. And if you don't know what that content is, I don't recommend you look it up, because it kind of reflects badly on me as a person. But not really, because actually, my two favorite dojins in that niche, it's not even that. It's like tangentially related to that, but not actually, okay? And yeah, I realized that I had been consuming this creator's content for a while now, but I never really gave them any money. So then I went on like a 20-minute journey of trying to give this person money, and at one point I was convinced I'm gonna have to track this person down at Comic Cat and like just I could just imagine myself just running around that huge ass convention center, or that hall. It's technically a hall. You know, just running, just laden with bags of the most unconventional products you would see, and just, you know, hey, do you know this person? Just ask randomly every table if they know this person and where I can find them. Then I finally do find that person, and by then I'm just this sweating, gross mess, and I'm like, I slap $5 on the table in USD, and I'm like, take your money, please. I spent 20 minutes trying to give you this money online. Eventually I was able to purchase the contents on DL site, but it was not easy. Yeah, it kind of sucks that it's so difficult to give these creators proper compensation for their hard work. And if you don't know what comic I'm talking about, or doujin I'm talking about, it is listed on the Patreon hideout. You might have to scroll up a bit. We had a long conversation. But it's technically not NTR. I said that out loud. Fuck. Thank you so much, Nugget. So yeah, I don't know if I want to talk to you guys about this, but, so when I first started my content, I got the 3DO after like a month and a half of being monetized. It was a little expensive. It was like $500, which is a lot of money. And I got it, and the first day I got it, I took it out of its case. And if you don't know, this thing is basically on two circles. It's basically a cylinder sandwiched in between two rubber circles. And I was going under my desk to find some kind of plug. And I'd set the mic on my desk, and apparently my desk was on an incline, and it fell off. And it dented my 3DO, the first one. I was very unhappy, but then I plugged it in, and it seems like it was still functioning. So I was like, oh, thank God. But the more I started to use the 3DO, I started to realize that the quality was not there compared to like other ASMR artists whose 3DO sounded way better. And so gradually I started gravitating away from 3DO because I thought it sounded like total shit, to be honest. So then I started using two AT4040s mics on different channels. And that sounds okay, but it doesn't quite have that immersive feel as a 3DO. So I ended up getting a new 3DO like a couple of days ago, and it got delivered yesterday to the nearest convenience store of my house. And if you didn't know, in Taiwan, if you order stuff, you can have it shipped to the nearest convenience store, and then you can pick it up and pay for it there, which is very convenient. No more porch pirates or anything like that, or packages getting lost and shit. And here's my new 3DO. I don't know if it sounds better. I personally think it does, but I'll leave that up to you guys, because you're the ones that have to listen to this. I don't. Like I said, I don't like listening to my previous audios. But I got the slightly cheaper version this time, by mistake. And it's the one that doesn't have the XLR cables, so that's kind of annoying, but I think it is better in a way, because now I don't have two cables to worry about. I just have the one, because it has like a regular 3.5 millimeter connector pin, and then that gets separated into two kind of XLR male connectors that go into the Focusrite that I use. So I think it's okay. Anyway, so so we were talking about dojins, right? So I'm actually rereading all of his older stuff, because after I paid for the content, I realized I haven't read his content in a while, or like I haven't reread it. And I remembered when I was reading it, I was not quiet. There was a lot of, oh no, you didn't. What? There was a lot of that going on while I was reading it. I'm a very vocal reader. And so right now I'm reading one of his, I'm reading the one that is, let me look on my iPad. What is it called? Oh, it just goes right into that, huh? I stopped at a very, well, to be fair, this guy is, the whole, like, 70 pages is basically just, that. But I'm like, wait, I want to look up the title, but I can't. I think it's, let me look it up. I think it is called The Gentle Breaking of a Failed Villainess. It's actually really cute. The thing about this guy, I'm talking about Yamamoto Tomomitsu. Yeah, he, like, his stuff, pretty spicy, but very wholesome. And I know the term neutered tornadoes racing is not compatible with the word wholesome, but he does it. Because I think Tomomitsu, that is not a lady's name. That is a dude's name. Unless it's a Adana. But, you know. But, yeah, so, very good. Do you know where to put the link? No! Please, don't make me do it! But yeah, so that's That's something that I'm rereading right now. I stopped reading at 10:30 last night. Then I went to bed. I had to listen to some Bakugo fan audio to fall asleep, as you do, because SpongeBob wasn't working, weirdly enough. And yeah, but all of his stuff's really good, so you should give it a follow. You should check it out. Absolutely, but I think this creator is actually fairly popular though among certain subsect of readers. The wholesome in quotation marks. Um, SpongeBob, it could be. I've been falling asleep to SpongeBob for about 3 years. I go through cycles. At first it was like Monty Python and the Unholy Circus or whatever. And then it was like Bob's Burgers, and then it was like the Saturday afternoon show or whatever, the one, with Rigby and Benson and those guys. Then yeah, I go through stages. Yes, I know Tomomitsu is a masculine name, okay? I know. Thank you. A headboard got broken. That's what the tag said. I didn't make it that far. I fell asleep halfway through. I was like, ah. I was actually, yeah. Regular show, okay? Why do I think it's... Oh, is it because there's a show called the Saturday Afternoon Cartoon or something? Alright. Well. Do you have any questions for me? Because if you don't, I don't know what else there is to talk about. Otherwise, I'm just gonna stay here and, talk about anything that comes to mind. And if you know my mind, it's just gonna get worse. Also, I'd like to get back to my, I'd like to get back to, stuff. I don't mean Secret Saturdays. I don't think I've ever heard of that. Why do I keep thinking the early morning show? That's not a thing. Oh, you did ask that earlier, Chase. I'm so sorry. What is my... I think he's... That's the thing about young actors who get exposed to Hollywood at a very young age. Shia LaBeouf has been in the eye of media and us ever since he was a child, starting from Even Stevens. And I think that kind of plays havoc with your psyche. And you see that a lot with a lot of the Nickelodeon and Disney stars now who are getting older, Lindsay Lohan kind of went crazy. What's her face? Amanda Bynes kind of totally went crazy. Hilary Duff, surprisingly wholesome. I wonder why. Miley Cyrus kind of lost her mind, and then JoJo Siwa lost her mind more so than Miley. And I think their mental issues is not their fault. I feel like they were subjected to attention that they should not have been subjected to, and I absolutely blame their guardians for making them deal with that. Honestly, I think it kind of constitutes child abuse at this point. But I think he is a very interesting person. He's a very interesting person. There were allegations of him physically abusing FK Twigs, but I mean, throwing I don't know, a lot of things constitutes as assault these days, so I don't know. I don't have the full facts, but I think he tried his best with that movie. I think he tried the best he could, but the movie was kind of a stinker, so I don't think anyone could have saved it at that point. Not even fucking Julie Andrews could have saved it, I think. Or like Dame Maggie Smith. No, no one could have saved it. I think Hilary Duff kind of... It wasn't crazy, hers, but I think also the reason for that was because her parents were a very big thing. But I do recall, like, some stuff happened when she was, like, 18 or 19. Nothing crazy, like Amanda Bynes or, like, you know... But I think she had to deal with a lot of, like, physical, like, appearance, like, trauma, like, body dysmorphia. I vaguely remember that happening. Thank you so much. Thank you. I hope you enjoy your lunch break. Or I hope you enjoyed your lunch break. My lunch break will be happening in like 2 hours. Yeah, the Britney Spears situation is, it's, honestly, I think it's quite sad. She's basically been used her whole life. And she seems like a genuinely sweet person. I've never seen anyone like say like, oh, she's a bitch, you know, and people are not quite about that kind of content. Like, you hear all the time about how like Demi Lovato is apparently like kind of not a nice person, or, you know, Rowan Chappelle is kind of, you know, whatever. But you never really, considering how massive Britney is, no one really said that she was a mean person. So I think, yeah, I honestly feel really sorry for her. And I wish that she can find someone that will not take advantage of her. But I think at this point, it's almost like Stockholm Syndrome at this point, which is really sad. She deserves better. Now it looks like her kids are trying to leech off her too, and it's like, fuck. You've been seen as a cash cow your entire life. And that's probably going to happen until you die. And probably happen beyond that. Because they'll milk your intellectual property. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry to Britney. She deserved better. And it's like everyone keeps talking about how she's kind of crazy, but also, yeah, do you blame her? I don't blame her for the way she's acting right now. I think it is a natural progression of shitty things that she had to go through. Yeah, I think her dad and her mom, like, they all just kind of fucking, like, her sister got super popular, I think, on Nickelodeon. Kind of, they piggybacked off Britney Spears. Like, that whole family... Yeah. Macaulay Culkin did have it quite bad as well, too. I think it's... Him getting married to Brenda Song is, like, the weirdest thing that I can imagine happening. And Justin Bieber getting married to Alec Baldwin's, like, what, niece? That's a weird combination right there. I honestly, like, I gotta be honest right now. Jamie Lynn Spears... Fucking hack. I'm sorry. I'm gonna come out right now and say it. I think she's a hack. Zero talent. Zero talent. It's just, when she came out on that Disney show, Britney was super hot. Everyone wanted everything to do with Britney, and because she was related to Britney, I think that's where she got her fame and popularity from. But I personally do not think she has an inch of talent, at least not to the extent that her sister does. Yeah, no one watches Zoe 101 for Zoe. No one gave two shits about Jamie Lynn Spears. Yeah. Riley. What the fuck? That is a weird pairing. Wait, is that Tony Hawk's, like, son? And Frances Bean Cobain is Kurt Cobain's daughter. This is crazy. This is like a, yeah. Yeah, she got pregnant in, like, age 16. Like, and that's fine. I'm not knocking teen pregnancy, but also, like, she projects this very, like, wholesome image, and then it turns out, girl, you were doing that stuff. Let's not throw glass stones, or let's not throw stones into glass houses, shall we? Anyways, alright, any other questions? If not, I shall let you guys get on your way, and I will get on my way. I really want to finish this. His daughter also had, well, he had his daughter when he was fairly young, and I think his daughter had a child when she was fairly young too. I feel very old. But I don't sound old, so that's okay. Oh, well, thank you very much for being the designated driver. I had to do that a lot too when I lived in the States. Yeah, because I don't drink, so, I wish I could. I do sometimes, but I do not possess the gene that allows me to process alcohol in the way it should, so my body turns it into poison. And I poison myself when I drink alcohol. Yes, it is a very common gene for Asians to have. But it's fine. Alcohol is not great. If you could get that, if you could get the feeling that alcohol induces without having to drink alcohol, I think not a lot of people would drink alcohol. Because how many people open a can of Pabst PBR and go, oh, I can't wait to drink this fucking PBR for the taste. So delicious. Literally no one. And if you do, and if you are like one of those people, you need to go out and experience culture, please. Does Marco? I am not surprised. His mom's Korean. He's half Korean. I am not surprised that he has that issue. Chase, I think you drank limoncello the way that it is not meant to be consumed. So that it's fine. It's just you shouldn't drink it the way you did. Any thought about that VTuber? I actually don't know anything about that. The only thing that, oh, I actually do I get that. The Markiplier having a heart attack after drinking one time. Because that almost happened to me. I was in college in Korea. And if you don't know anything about Korea, what you should know after this stream is that Koreans drink like they don't want to fucking live the next day. And I was in college. And you basically go out to those college parties or you will be ostracized and no one will fucking talk to you. And yeah, so we're doing shots of soju, which is kind of crazy all in its own. And I left early because also I had to take the train back home. And like my college was like an hour and a half away by subway. And I shit you not, like I'm walking home and I'm literally like holding onto a utility pole, hand over my heart, thinking I'm gonna pass out right there. I just threw up over my shoes and then I walked home. But, yeah. That was not a fun night. And I stopped going to those, and then people gradually forgot that I was even in their class, which was fine. There's a lot of things about Korean society that I don't agree with or gel with, for one thing. Like, the whole, like, upperclassmen, lowerclassmen thing, I don't do that shit. And apparently that really pissed off a lot of my upperclassmen, because that's what they grew up with. And I know they say, like, one in Rome, right? But also, I'm not gonna talk respectfully to you just because you're a year older than me. Like, fuck off. Get bent. If you want my fucking respect, you either give it to me first, or you show me that you are worthy of that respect. Otherwise, I'm just gonna treat you like some other Joe Schmo out there. But, yeah. Yeah, but, that's a thing. Anyways, what was I talking about? I felt like there was a topic that I wanted to talk about before I segued into drinking. Oh, yeah. No, mostly what I'm focusing on now is, Johnny Somali. And that jackass's antics in Korea. Oh, he is not a very intelligent person. But also, I think we figured that already, being a nuisance streamer in Korea while being non-Caucasian in a country like Korea where, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, and I think I've said this before. I love Korea. I love Korean food. I love my Korean family. I am partly Korean. Korea is one of the most xenophobic countries that I have ever lived in. Not racist. Kind of racist. But easily one of the most xenophobic countries that I have lived in Asia. Japan, kind of, but they're less vocal about it. Unless you end up going to the restaurants where they're like, yeah, no foreigners here. That's just because they don't speak, and then they don't want to deal with you in case you're like a clueless tourist. But anyways, Korea has those signs up too. Or they did. I think they outlawed it at some point. But, yeah. No. Korea, top racist country. It is ironic that I say that because China, for all of its issues, and the fact that I hated living in China, pretty welcoming. Yeah, and they're still kind of slightly, like, racist to, like, African Americans or people from Africa. Not as bad as Korea. Like, yeah, so no, Johnny Somali being a nuisance streamer and darker skinned, I fully expect him to get his ass kicked if he ever steps out into public. Because now everyone knows what he looks like. He's, like, plastered everywhere in Korean media. Like, my parents called me, like, my mom called me, she's like, do you know what the deal is with this Johnny Somali guy? And she lives in the middle of butt-fuck nowhere. Even she knows who he is, and she knows what he looks like. I don't think he is able to leave the house, or wherever he's in right now. I think he has, like, a friend go out and grab him shit. But, yeah. Yeah, I know, yeah, Johnny Somali is doing more to bring Korean and Japanese people together. We are united through our hatred. He's like our Dr. Manhattan. He's our Dr. Manhattan. I would honestly respect that if, yeah, if that was like, but that's clearly not his aim here. That's only like tangentially, like, that's what's happening. But, yeah, he's, Gold Goblin. And Goblin is such a derogatory term. Especially in Korea. It's such a derogatory term. It is one of the worst things you could call people. So for them to call him that, and if you guys know Gold Goblin, they have them in Diablo. And you kill it and you get lots of shit. So, yeah. So I don't think he is able to leave the house right now. I do know that he's being indicted. There's multiple charges. I personally don't think he's going to end up in jail for that long. They're definitely going to jail him. They won't not jail him. He's already created way too much, chaos. They have to set an example. And he's definitely going to go to jail. Now, how long is he going to go to jail? I don't think it's as long as people are hoping. Maybe at most 3 years. At most. I would be surprised if it even got to 3 years. I think 6 months to a year, which is very unfortunate because I don't think it's gonna give him much, I don't think that's much of a lesson to someone as dumb as Johnny Somali. But, yeah, Johnny is American. He's American. But,
Yeah, he's definitely gonna go to jail. It won't be for as long as we want. And then they will deport him. I don't think the U.S. government is going to do anything to help him, get, like, extradite him or anything. They're not going to do that. They would not use political capital in that way to save Johnny Somali. He's not worth it. There are situations I have heard where U.S. have extradited criminals in Korea to be tried in America, but that is in a very specific situation. I don't see that happening here. Here I am talking about it like I'm fucking like I'm versed in the law of Korea and America. No, I'm basically parroting what Legal Mindset has talked about, because this is an issue that I've been following quite vigorously. Because he is a content creator, he is a streamer, and yeah, we are kind of in the same line of work in that we're both content creators, and I personally find him to be very fascinating. He makes his money from trolling people. I find those kind of people fascinating. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, his only platform right now is Rumble, which I forgot that was even a thing. I think it's a right-wing platform. He got kicked off Kick. And they have, like, gambling, like, fucking, yeah, Kick's arguably the worst of the big, streaming platforms. Oh my god, that Logan Paul and Mike Tyson fight. I mean, did you guys expect Mike Tyson to actually win? Or Logan Paul to win? I mean, I guess he did win. But, like, did you guys... I know a lot of people were like, oh, I hope Mike Tyson, like, knocks his head off. No. When it comes to, like, physical, combat, age and endurance is a very big thing. And Mike Tyson's, like, pushing 60. There's no way he was gonna win against Logan Paul. All Logan Paul had to do was just dodge him for, like, 4 rounds. I don't even... Did they even make it a 4 rounds? But yeah, I refused to watch it. I did not want that to get any attention from me, because I felt like it was just enabling bad behavior at that point. They made it to 8 rounds? Woo, that's crazy. Yeah, if Mike Tyson was going to win, it should have been within, like, the first, like, 2 to 3 rounds. Otherwise, because it's hard, guys. I don't know how many people here actually do, like, hand-to-hand combat. I do more feet to head contact. But it is really hard to fight. And when you see boxers or like hand-to-hand combat fights, and you see, like, these people, like, just hugging in the corner, that's not by choice, okay? They're just too tired and they need, like, a breather. They're literally too tired to throw another punch. So, yeah. I have seen, but I mean, if there's one good thing to say about the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight, or Logan Paul, I don't fucking know which Paul brother it was. They're both fucking terrible people. I think he's the one that didn't go to, Aokigahara? Yeah, I think that's what it's called, Aokigahara. And then found the, you know, whatever. It's the brother that didn't do that. And, the memes that have come from that fight are fucking hilarious. For, like, the first few days after that fight, my friends and I, we just kept spamming our line group chat with memes. That was my favorite part about the fight, just the memes that came out of it. Yeah. Yeah, memes are the only good thing that came out of it. So I'm glad it happened just for the memes, but also please let's not encourage this behavior. Have you guys seen the movie Idiocracy? It's with not Owen Wilson, the other Wilson, his brother, the dark-haired one, and what's her face, the lady from SNL. But that's not a movie, guys. That's a fucking documentary, okay? They went to the future somehow. Terry Crews, yeah, it's President Camacho. President Camacho actually was a very decent president. Okay. President Camacho for 2025. I don't even fucking know what year anymore. Yeah. But yeah, bro, no, it's what plants crave. It's a fucking documentary. I see us as a race going down that path, and it is disheartening, to say the least. It is absolutely disheartening. I want to believe that we will not go down that route, and maybe we'll go down more like a Star Trek route. Oh yeah, by the way, the Bell Riots were supposed to happen last year, weren't they? Do you guys know what the Bell Riots are? It was a big thing. But yeah, I wouldn't call myself a Trekkie, but I do know some stuff. But yeah, no, I think, of course you know, Chase. DS9, baby! Yeah, easily my favorite Star Trek. It used to be Voyager, and then I got older, and then it became the Next Generation, or the New Generation, with Picard. And then now that I'm rewatching it, I find that I like Cisco. I think Cisco is amazing. I think DS9 is amazing. I think Jax is the perfect example of how to write a good Mary Sue. I think she is the epitome of the perfect good Mary Sue. But yeah, so I really genuinely hope that Idiocracy does not come to happen, but I am not so hopeful anymore. Do you like Cisco post or pre, like facial hair? Yeah. Did you guys see Picard? I couldn't get through the first season. It was so bad. And I hate that because I heard that Patrick Stewart had a lot of creative input over Picard, and if that show is shitty because of him, my respect for him just kind of plummets through the floor at that point. And I hate what they did with Deanna Troi and, I like how I know her name, but I don't know, I can't remember Jonathan Frakes' character. I hate what they did to that couple. Because that was in Picard, right? It's not another show. Because I also watched Discovery with Michael Burnham. Who actually turns out to be a lady. And that one kind of got off the rails pretty fast. So I'd say that the Star Trek live action most recent series have not been that great, which is really sad. Riker, there we go. Yeah. Riker, that's it. I've been yapping for 2 hours now. I am really surprised. Did you guys like the Star Trek? The J.J. Abrams movies? Did I watch Star? I fucking hated it. I hated the opening song. Oh my god, I hated the opening song to Enterprise. I hated the opening song so much. Fuck that opening song. It's so cheesy and corny, and I don't know who signed off on using that as the opening thing to a Star Trek series, but it was such a terrible choice. But yeah, I heard the animation, the animated Star Treks were good. So I would like to check out Lower Decks. But, yeah. Alright, so... I think I'm done. I think we're done here. Thank you for letting me yap for 2 hours about nothing. Yapped about jack shit. But thank you for letting me yap to you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I made you laugh at least once. And now you know that, Bax, you basically... We're doing a money exchange right now. Is that what's happening? Thank you very much, Crazy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. But seriously, though, Bax, you really don't have to. Thank you so much, Crazy. Yeah. I'm hoping the next stream will actually be the husbando tiered list. I have to just buckle down and just fucking do it. And I will. I will. Soon. Okay? Alright, guys. Yeah. Why is no one leaving? Why is no one leaving? You should go now. Okay? You hang up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. Okay. Is that where we... Thank you so much for... Thank you so much. Thank you. I do hope I have a good lunch, too. I had Subway yesterday. Yeah, I'm trying really hard. Fuck it, why am I still here? Please go. Get out of here. Go. I really need, like, a stream ending screen. I'm not doing a 24-hour stream ever. I'm so sorry. I might do like a donathon, but yeah. This is never happening. It's okay. You're not being rude. You're saving the other person by being considerate of their time. Oh, we will go down together, Jack. What's that song that they play on on Titanic as it's sinking? Oh, man. Leo looks weird now, doesn't he? Oh, who would have thunk that youthful face just wouldn't translate very well into his 40s and 50s? Okay, I really want to finish reading this Jojin, okay? So I'm gonna talk to you guys later, okay? Alright, bye guys!